welcome back. My name is Shannon. This is Made by Boo, and I have my Advents right here. Oh, almost ripped a box. So first, right on top, I have my Advent socks. The basket looks a mess right now. With my cozy knitter, I have just finished stripe number 15, got the heel in. Everything is going super easy on those ones. My Woolens and Nosh, this one does not yet have the stripe, and I had pulled out all the color for it. I just made a mess of that one, basically. But here's the one that does have the stripe. As soon as I finish the stripe on the second sock, I am going to start putting the heels in. I know the heel day usually makes me a little bit behind, partially because it's more time, but also I know I'm going to be a little behind tomorrow anyways, because this next week is just going to have a couple of other nights where I would be home normally and now I'm not. So I might fall behind by a couple of days, but I'm trying not to stress too much. My goal is to have those as well as a couple of other projects done by Christmas. And from the 20th or from the 21st to the 25th, I do have like no work. So I know I'm going to be able to make it. Before I start opening these Advents, I did get a item in the mail yesterday from So Happy Jane. It was, I believe, marketed as a, see if I can adjust that light of the window. I think we're just kind of stuck with it. Sorry, I believe it was technically supposed to be like a Christmas Eve cast on. And I don't know that I'm actually going to cast it on Christmas Eve or on Christmas, partially because I have these other things I want to finish, but also because I'm kind of second guessing what I want my project to be. So I'll start with showing the yarn. It's not really a surprise, so it shouldn't be anything that is a secret. I saw the yarn before I got it, but this was her Nutcracker set. So this is the set of the Nutcracker themed minis. Kind of show both sides so you can see all the colors well. The Nutcracker is absolutely one of my favorite things, Christmas things ever. I haven't actually been able to go and see the ballet in years, but one day we'll get to it again. And then this is the main skein that came with it, well, with the set that I got. And this color is Ballerina. So they go so good together. And at first I thought, ooh, that would be a great pair of socks. Do stripes, everything would be wonderful. And then I realized I'm not sure that I want them as socks right now because I have so many sock things on. And then it would be one of those where it's like, yeah, and then I make these cute socks and shove them in my boots like every other ones. So I thought briefly like they'd make a good shawl or something. But I think part of my hang up is, for one, I'd have to find the shawl pattern, but I don't know why I set it down. The other thing I realized is that it would be so cute as like a striped t-shirt, where like this would be the main skein and then just like one solid stripe of each one. But of course I have one. And for my size and the kind of shirt that's in my mind, I'd need 2 to 3. So it's like, that's not going to happen. But because it's in my brain, it's going to take me a minute to decide on something else. And then the other thing that it came with is this little set of stitch markers. So I've got Clara, a little Nutcracker, a candy cane, and then a Christmas tree and a grandfather clock. I know the focus on them is not going to be the greatest, but very, very cute. I am going to try to turn them into something to wear by next year. It's probably going to be some sort of shawl. I'll just have to find the pattern. So I wanted to share that on here because it is Christmas themed. And then whenever I feel like casting it on, I don't have to be like, I sometimes feel like I shouldn't cast stuff on if I haven't shared it, even though I know that's ridiculous. I can do what I want and there's really no problem with it. I'm sorry about the glare behind. We're finally getting sunshine, which is great, but I cannot seem to find an angle where it's not weirdly coming behind me where I can still plug everything in that I need to plug in. So we're going to have to just kind of persevere a little bit. I am sorry. It's already been a pretty busy morning. I did some baking today. I did some yesterday and then just kind of forgot to talk about it. So like yesterday I made marshmallows and sourdough bread, and yesterday's marshmallows were vanilla, and then I made more marshmallows today that were peppermint with little mini chocolate chips, and I made some sourdough banana bread, and all of that I'll end up taking into work and just sharing with people, because I mean I do it partially because I like it, but my family won't always eat all of it, so I try to spread it. I also did some cleaning and organizing. These are things that you would probably have seen. And I finally got around to digging out all my holiday sweaters so that I can wear them to work in the last week I work before Christmas. I don't know why it took me so long to dig them out, but they're out now, have them kind of airing out, making sure they're not musty from being in storage for a year. And with all of that, I didn't get to any knitting until I sat down to start filming and realized that my microphone wasn't charged. So it's been a little bit more chaotic than I expected, but we are here ready to open Advents now. The first one I have is my Haunted Holidays from Fangirl Fibers. Ooh, this is, I think, the first really dark color we've had with this one. It's like a very pretty, kind of makes me think of like a chestnut brown. I like that one. All right, let me move it out of the way. The nice thing about keeping everything like still stored in here in their packages is it's neat and it's organized until I'm ready to do something with it. But the downside is these boxes take up a lot of space. And so instead of it taking up less space as I undo the packages, it's taking up the same amount the whole time. But it's fine, because once I'm done with opening them all, I can get into the organizing, and some of them will condense down. So the next one I have is Ruby and Roses. And day number 15. Oh, did I even say it was day 15? Today's day 15 is the color Ski Lift. I think having my microphone not charged when I thought it was threw me off, because now I'm filming like an hour later than I planned. Ooh, look at that. You can see all the little speckles of everything. I think this is going to make a really good anthology throw. I like that I have to pull it right back out. The yarn, it kind of just, it feels a little bit more plush. Like fingering weight is such a weird thing, because there's sometimes you hold the yarn to a fingering weight and it feels almost like skimpy, like it's a small fingering weight. This one feels like a heavier fingering weight, and I think that's going to make it have a really cozy blanket. So the next one I have is my Jenny box. This is from Missouri Star. And day 15, I was able to organize them a little bit yesterday. So day 15 is right on top. But of course, this is one that I'm not putting back into the box each time. So some of them are dispersed, and therefore my box is a little easier to handle. So this is a hard, like it jiggles a little bit, feels solid. I just never know what this one's going to be. This is quilting themed. I guess kind of quilting and sewing, but okay, I think that's desiccant in there. Here's something rattling. All right, well, this has not really answered any questions. Let me see. I mean, it's a pretty box, but I opened a bag to a box, and I still don't know what I have. All right, so... Oh, 2 little ceramic Christmas ornaments. Those are very, very pretty. So I must have been hearing the little bells jingle. Very cute. I will have to take these down and add them to the Christmas tree. And I like that it has this nice little foam box. I don't need to keep the desiccant. To make sure that they don't get broken along the way. And then you can make sure they stay in one piece year to year. All right, so I got my everything all over the place. Moving my boxes. So the next one that I have is a chick that knits. This is the dark and dreamy theme. Day number 15 is color Canyon. So I have, ooh, oh wow. I'm not sure it's entirely showing up true to color. Like the orangey parts are, but like the right here, to me, like in person, it looks a lot more pink. In my phone, it looks a little bit more orangey there. That is gorgeous. It really does canyon, like makes me think of a canyon at sunset. That is gorgeous. All right. And I'm so glad that I got the sparkle base on this one. There's a part of me that wishes all of them were sparkly, but I'm glad in some ways that not all of them are, but I'm still glad I have one that does. So this is a grand adventure from So Happy Jane. Let me see. Ooh. So I feel somehow like I am behind on this, but today is a day that we should be opening up a non-yarn box. And I'm trying to decide which one. So let's see. I'm going to go with this one. It says something to pair with your warm cuppa as you stitch and relax after all of your big adventures. So I'm thinking that this might be like some sort of a snack or a tea. Probably not a tea, but I'm just kind of looking forward to finding out what it is. Ooh, okay. So paper coasters. It's one of those where I thought it might be a snack or something just because, but a bunch of snowflakes on them. I like that they're kind of like, I kind of like that they're paper coasters because then it's something that feels like they could be not entirely reused, but recycled or something when you're done. But, and I'm kind of glad in some ways it wasn't a snack because a snack is tasty, but also I can't eat every snack that I get sent. But I was not expecting paper coasters. I feel like they'd be really good when we have like people visit and you just need a few extra. We're not really big visiting people, but I will put those aside to use. So the next one I have is Wonderful Wool. This is my last one for the day, and it is universe themed. Day number 15 is Red Dwarf. A very small, cool, and long-lived star. Very common in the Milky Way. Most are too small to see with the naked eye. Ooh. This one is just so bright and so gorgeous. I did start looking for a contrast color to go with it a little bit. Not because I'm casting it on. I know there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, cast on. These are Advent projects. You're supposed to cast on before Christmas. But I'm trying to make myself finish the projects I had taken into the month and things that I already had somewhat committed to. But because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the first of these Advent projects that I start, I did start looking for my contrast color so that I can make a crochet Advent baby blanket. I just really like that pattern, and it's so cozy. This one I made using scraps. I made one for my husband using a psych themed Advent calendar from last year. And this particular universe set has 25 minis instead of like 24 minis and a full skein. So I'm trying to pick like stash dive and find something, but I haven't quite landed on what I'm going to use yet. So I'm going to have to keep digging. I do have a bit of stash. I know that's not uncommon to have a lot of stash, but it does sometimes mean that you have to look a little harder to find what you're looking for because you're looking through a lot. So that's all I have for today. I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up and start uploading all of the little clips that I have so far. and then see if I can get going on the heels of those Advent socks so that I can try not to fall too far behind over the next few days. So I will see you tomorrow.